So my life has been incredible lately. That's the end of the episode before it started. No, it's been excellent. I'm so grateful. I'm just in one of those places right now where almost like pinch me like holy it's all starting to happen. And it's amazing. It feels like vindicating when you're pursuing something as long as I've been pursuing this, when things start to fall into place and you're actually achieving certain things that you set out to achieve or like putting yourself in position to achieve them rather than staying completely stagnant. It feels incredible. So I just wanted to start off by saying thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, generally speaking. But there's also this weird thing where everything in my professional life right now seems like it's working, and then everything in my personal life is like still so heavy and like almost seems unsolvable at times. And it's just a reminder that life be lifing, like there's only certain things you have under your control, and it's not many. It's most things you just don't have control at all, and it's best to do it. You got to do your best to accept the stuff that you can't control. Otherwise, that's what drives you crazy, and that's what I've been trying my best to do. Because, like I said, in my professional pursuit, things are going swimmingly, but I'm dealing with stuff outside of that that's like heavy, heavy shit, and you know, I have to kind of try to separate the two as best as possible. Like for example, I have difficulty doing that because I want to be open and transparent and honest all the time with people, and it's interesting to see what relationships and what people you can do that with where they still feel comfortable, because I feel comfortable sharing anything, and some people are like, all right, I don't need to know that about you, and that's understandable. I get it, but it's something that I'm trying to be cognizant of now, especially because, like I said, because things are going so well for me professionally, I draw my creativity and my inspiration from my personal life so heavily. But there's a fine line between like, I'm going to be me all the time and like, this is no one's business and I don't want anyone to know because it's not for me to tell. So I'm trying my best to like keep it in, but that's not what I'm prone to do typically. Like I typically would make music about it or make content about it or whatever, and it's not, I just have to navigate it carefully, gingerly. Gingerly. You ever seen an episode of Looney Tunes? That's like the episode where Elmer Fudd or Bugs Bunny's giving Elmer Fudd a haircut. It's funny because he doesn't have hair like me. um, I don't know. He sings gingerly at some point. See, now I have this. I can try to figure it out. Gingerly. Um, and he's like the maestro, and he starts conducting the orchestra too fast. Look it up, dude. Looney Tunes. All right. I'm not here to explain everything. But if you noticed, I set the piano up so I can like Mr. Rogers everyone while I pretend I know what the hell is going on. Yeah. I might have unlocked something, honestly. This might be the way. I might just have to sing the entire podcast. I wonder if anyone does that. Freestyles for an hour straight, but like having it be about topics and stuff. Unrehearsed, probably. But I don't know. I just thought it would be fun to mess around with this, especially since I want this to be more of a musical thing than it's been in the past. That's what happens when you keep your foot on the pedal too long, literally and figuratively. I just got this pedal for the keyboard, so I'm getting used to actually using it and pretending I know how to play piano correctly. For those of you that don't know, what the pedal is, a sustain pedal. So rather than having to hold each one of these notes and then they stop, you hold the pedal down when you hit them, and then they keep going. It's pretty nice. I'll always love the electric piano. Anyways, how have you been? I wish you could respond to me and talk back. I just got off of a 3 hour conversation with my mom on the phone, and I've talked about her so many countless times on this podcast because she has always treated me with a certain reverence that has allowed me to be myself and speak profoundly about things, even when I was probably too young to be doing so. And I did have to kind of like grow up quick in a lot of ways. And she allowed me to do that in some healthy ways, some unhealthy ways. But so I always cherish the relationship I have with her, and especially because it hasn't always been that way. We had our struggles when I was growing up, from things she was doing and from things I was doing, certainly. But I'm grateful that I have the ability to have that conversation with someone and have someone like that I'm so close with, especially because I've been on the other side of it. I am on the other side of it, not being able to have that 3 hour conversation with my dad. And I don't know, for some reason the way I said that was with my dad. Because I'm holding in a burp. I'm trying to be respectful. Um, and it makes me think, if I had, this might be cliche or cheesy, but it makes me think, if I had one more phone call with my dad, what would I say? And also, like, are there rules to this? Is it like a would you rather thing where there's new stipulations as you keep going with the made up situation? Like, is it like a jail phone call where I only have a certain amount of time, or like, can we talk for until my phone dies, or But say it was a normal length conversation, or say it was like that, a 3 hour mom conversation, or a 3 hour dad conversation. In this case, I wonder what I'd tell him. I think when I think about this, I think there are silly things that I'd want to tell him, like shit that's happened in the world since he left it, like the whole pandemic and like crazy presidential elections and sports stuff. Who's won the Super Bowl? I don't think. Yeah, if I do the math, like Patrick Mahomes is like in high school when my dad died. So he doesn't even know that exists. Like those things blow my mind. Like my dad, who's a sports fan, never saw Aaron Judge play. Never saw, obviously I always have to bring back to the Yankees. Sorry. Never saw Patrick Mahomes. Didn't see Tom Brady retire. All these silly things. And obviously deeper stuff, like things that have happened in my life or things that have happened with other people he loves and cares about, that he would, I think, be mind blown. Like looking at it as if it was a conversation with him, like he was there and then just missed out on all this stuff and now he's back, type of thing. Not like he has been watching from above. Like if I had to fill him in on stuff, like where would I start? In the over 10, or how long is it? Sometimes I have to do the math. 2009, 2019. Holy shit. In the 15 years now, it'll be 15 years this year that he's been gone, what would I tell him? And it's been something that I want to write a song in that vein for sure. I think it's like, there's that, is it Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father Again? I believe it is. Let me look it up real quick. I'm trying to get the technology down so that like I can play something and you'll hear it. I don't know how to do that yet though, so you'll have to bear with me for now. Dance with My Father Again. It is Luther. It is Luther Vandross. Come on, baby boy. Um, it's not like it's never been done, is what I'm saying. But like, it's such an interesting concept to be like, just one more day. Again, that's another song. Literally one more day. But it's something I think about often. I try my best to toe the line of not thinking about it to like a point where it's a detriment to me or like get caught up on something that's just simply not possible. Sometimes I try to recreate it in the way that it is possible for me, which is just like hypothetically, what would I say? What would he say? What do I think would be our conversation? What would he tell me? After, what would he say to all the things I'm telling him, mistakes I've made, things I've achieved? My dad was always, I've said this on Mental Health Mondays, but my dad was always so hyper supportive that like, I don't think I was even old enough to have fucked up yet in any way. So I don't know how he would have told me you fucked up, So I wonder about those things too. And to cycle it back, the reason why I said this is because mid conversation with my mom, I thought about that. Like we're on the phone for 3 hours. I have stuff to do. I love her. She's my rock, So I'm not saying anything out of school here. I had stuff I had to do. I wanted to do the podcast. We literally did a 3-hour podcast on the phone. It would have been gold. Gold, Jerry. Um, but I had stuff to do, and it's like every once in a while I'd be like, I should probably start to wrap this call up. And then I'm like, God, there are people who would kill for this opportunity, me being one of them. Like, I know what it's like to wish I could do that with someone that's no longer here. So I'm going to take full advantage. Let her gas herself out and say whatever she needs to say, wants to say. So it was nice. It was a nice conversation. And she always keeps me in check, but also I keep her in check. It's just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have that. But, dude, Super Bowl coming up quick. Who you got? I hate to break it to most of you. I think it's going to be the Chiefs. I think there's just to tie it to everything you guys are annoyed with, they're in their Tom Brady Patriots era. Get it? Taylor Swift, ever heard of her? I just think they're smack dab in the middle, or like still in the early stages of just being the dominant team for the foreseeable future. It's weird. I'm a Jets fan, so I never got to appreciate the Brady run during it until towards the ends of his career, when the Jets were just so awful that it didn't matter anymore, and you could tell that like it wasn't going to last forever. Then he went to the Bucks. Once he was on the Bucks, I loved Tom Brady. I was like sick. I have never been a hater of greatness. I don't get people that hate on MJ or LeBron, more specifically LeBron. I don't get people that hate on Tom Brady, other than me, who hated him because I was the victim of his greatness so many times as a sports fan. But I think it's the most haterish shit to hate on someone because they're the best and continue to be the best. Like, get good, dude. And I think we're starting it's starting to get that way with Mahomes for most people. And don't get me wrong, he has some like nozzly tendencies where he whines a lot. It's the same thing with LeBron. Like, people get mad at LeBron because he whines about calls and stuff. It's like he's also the best player in the world. He kind of has that luxury. I think he has earned that. But it rubs people the wrong way. I get annoyed with it too. But most people are like, I can't stand the Chiefs because of the Taylor Swift thing. I don't really care that much. Like, I'd like to see other teams win just because I like it. Like, I like Lamar Jackson. I would have loved to see the Ravens win last week just because it's fun for me. I root for me when it comes to these things. I want to be entertained. That's what it is, after all, is entertainment. So it's like, I wish that Lamar and the Ravens would have won to see him in the Super Bowl, but they didn't because Mahomes and the Chiefs are so great. Hate all you want. It doesn't affect how good they are. So now it's like, all right, I got to see the Tom Brady era. Wouldn't it be cool to see another one of those in my lifetime? Just eternal greatness over and over and over again. I'm okay with that. Now, if it comes at the expense of my team, which it hasn't, because the Jets are still pitiful, after all of this, after all of these expectations that got forced down my throat the entire summer, is Rodgers going to come? Oh my God, they flew to fucking California. Yeah, he's coming. He came. And then, come on. That's the most, it's the most Jets thing that could ever fucking happen. I know it's obvious to say that, but like, Jesus Christ, can we get one fucking win for 1 second? Can I have anything nice? So until the Chiefs thing comes at the expense of something that the Jets are trying to achieve, I'm here for it. Whatever. I like the Niners too. I'm rooting. I think I'm rooting for them in the Super Bowl, especially shout out Misha, Niners fan. But I'm not gonna cry if I have to watch Taylor Swift hug Travis Kelce with confetti falling. I think I've kind of come around to it a bit too. At first, I was like everyone else. Actually, it seems like people, it's an arc. It's the same arc that the Chiefs have gone on, where they're the new thing. So it's like, oh, watch Patrick Mahomes run around like a kid on the playground and throw the ball over the field and win, and it's so cool. And then you start to get sick of it, and then towards the end, it's like, oh, that was great. We're lucky to have seen that. It's the same thing with the Taylor Swift thing, where at the beginning, I think everyone was like interested, at the very least, like, whoa, this is crazy. She's the most famous person on planet Earth right now. And Kelce is like one of the faces of the NFL. And also, again, incredible. I think that he'll probably go down as better than Gronk. In my opinion. I watch Gronk all the time. Again, as a Jets fan, playing the Patriots twice a year, I think he's better. I think there's just certain things he can do that Gronk can't. Gronk was unbelievably dominant and had a crazy run. He was also super injury prone. I just think that this Kelsey run seems like it's been more consistent. And he'll eventually have as many or more Super Bowls than Gronk does, which obviously you typically don't factor that in with tight ends. But also, I don't know why I just turned this whole thing into a sports show. I guess I'm going in blind again. Now I got the piano in front of me. I don't know how to act. Where was I? Oh, I agree at first. Very cute with the Taylor Swift shit. Then it got a little annoying. I think I'm starting to come back around. I get why people hate it. I get why I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. I'm probably get kicked off the internet for saying that. I don't care that much about whatever the fuck she's got going on. I respect how talented she is. I like some of her songs for sure. Never listened to a full album ever. And I'm not bragging. That's on me. Like, I probably should at some point. There's something to it for clearly. But I'm not even the biggest Taylor Swift fan, and I still think there's something like very Americana about like the star handsome football player being with like the most fucking vanilla cookie cutter, let's put it bluntly, white girl that there's ever been. The most famous one of that ever, like the cheerleader role, which is funny because, she was always like, I'm not the cheerleader, but like you're America's cheerleader now. So I find it somewhat endearing, generally speaking. Do I get annoyed? It's not even that I get annoyed. I'm just surprised how much the NFL thinks like this is good for us and shows her constantly. It is annoying. I'm not saying I'm not annoyed, but seeing them like hug and kiss, I think it's kind of cute, even if it's fucking mostly for show. It's all for show, guys. Wake up. It's all a charade. It doesn't fucking matter. So enjoy it. That's the other thing. Again, I root for me. I might as well just enjoy what they're feeding me. That sounds kind of fucked up. Like, I'm not saying except, like, mistreatment and, like, injustice. Okay? I'm saying in this case, it's like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to change the channel. I like sports. I like football. I'm going to keep watching. Whatever. It's what gets me is the things people choose to be mad about that I just don't get. Like being super angry about the fact that you have to see Taylor Swift a few times while watching football is a little much. Come on, guys. It's not that serious. But anyway, back to the beautiful dulcet tones of the electric piano. Walking down the bass line. I drank coffee too early today, and I don't have the same pep that I had during that 3-hour conversation. So if I take a nap at some point, don't hate me. What else is going on in the world that I wanted to address? Yeah, I guess I could fill in more what's happening with me. It's so cool that there's certain things I can't say. But shout out Grabbits, my man. He gave me an incredible opportunity to work with him this past month on his upcoming project. And not just that, though. He has helped me immensely with my own skill, with some guidance on things that maybe I'm unsure of in the industry. And he has continued to do that so much to the point where it's going to be a more long-term thing where I'm going to be helping him out in the studio, and in whatever ways, I don't need to get into specific things but I've been like engineering, running some sessions, even though I'm not an engineer, and I have so much to learn about doing that, which he has very graciously opened up his bank of knowledge to me. I love people that don't hide the sauce, like who are willing to share what they know and how they know it, and like spread knowledge and spread joy, like show love when it's necessary or when it's like warranted. I love people who are liberal with like their skills rather than being like, I don't want anyone to know because this is the way I do things. No one else should do things the way I do. It's like, no, isn't this interesting? Like, you're a fellow nerd. Let's talk about it. So that part has been incredible. And I don't have to go back to the shitty day job anymore. Um, so, hey, this is where there should be a soundboard where I go like this and it goes, yay! But instead it's just a C. Um, yes, I don't have to go back to the fucking, for the foreseeable future, at least, to the job that I felt like if any of people from that are watching, I loved it, but it's not what I want to do with my life. Like, I'm grateful for the opportunities that situation allowed me for many years, but now it's time to say goodbye, you know, to that side of my life. And I'm just so fucking pumped up, baby. The other night I left the studio. Again, it was supposed to be me working there for a month, working with him for a month, and that month ran out. And I left after that day. We spoke about like going forward, what options maybe we could explore, and I left and just looked at the sky and like gave a fucking fist pump because I was so excited. Like, let's go, baby, we're doing it, we're doing it. So I'm really happy. I'm really like, in the least cheesy way possible, I'm very proud of myself because I've thought about quitting 6 million times. Every creative person who like pursues their creative shit wholeheartedly thinks about quitting. If they say they don't, they're lying. The thing is, they don't quit, right? That's the whole thing. So you think about it, you judge yourself, you question everything all the time. Am I good enough? Am I worth it? Is this worth it? Should I go the safer route? But when you don't, again, I feel like I said before, when you don't quit and things start to happen the way you thought all along they should, there's this feeling of vindication that washes over you. Like, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew it. Title of the podcast is Am I Crazy? In this thing, I'm not. I knew it would work out. Now, let me not get ahead of myself. I got a long ways to go. But take the fucking wins where you get them. Jesus Christ. Again, I'm a Jets fan. I'll take any win I can get. Okay? And this was a huge win for me. And I just think that, you know, when there's times where you feel so out of place in life and in the world and in your family and in your career, just in every aspect, you can truly feel that the energy of it being fucked, of it just not being quite right. For the first time in a long time, I felt the energy of it all aligning exactly how it's supposed to. And like, it just went, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm here. After all these years, I'm here. I went down that fucking Robert Frost path long enough to finally get to the right fucking thing, crossroads. And I'm pumped, baby. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just feel like it's completely changed. It's one of those things, again, eternally grateful to him because he was a huge part in this, but it's one of those things that's like, I just have a newly found confidence in my fucking music shit that escaped me for a while, basically since starting the solo thing. Cause like, I knew that I'd have to start from scratch, but I didn't know just how much it would be from scratch. I don't think I realized that there would be very little carryover from April 94, which again, I've talked about in the past on Mental Health Mondays. But so it's been a like constant struggle of questioning, like, what even music do I want to make? And it's just, I feel, again, everything I'm creating right now is fucking crazy good. And I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful. I know I opened the pod with that and now I'm talking about it again, but I can't help it. I just feel so grateful. And I encourage you, the message there is to just stick to the path. Trust your gut. Adjust where you need to. Adjust when you realize, oh, my gut instinct was wrong. Of course, don't just like blindly follow what you think is right instantaneously, but realize that there's always some sort of power or magic in your gut instinct. Always. Always, always, always. About a relationship you're forming, whether it be personal, business, romantic, whether it be a career decision or a decision about where you want to live or what fucking route you want to take to the grocery store today. There's always some power in your gut instinct. And if you follow it long enough and you take the other signs from the universe that might steer you a little bit left or right, and you just keep following your gut slightly to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, even though your mind is trying to be analytical and say, whoa, what are you doing? This isn't going to fucking work. Just trust the process. Trust that your goals are going to change by the time you achieve any of them. Trust that your route is going to change by the time you take the next step. But just keep going forward, and it does work out. And I have so much more to accomplish, but I feel like I'm seeing things so clearly right now because I've stuck with it long enough to finally see some fucking something from it. And I'm really happy. Can you tell? Let's try a song. This one is called Can You Tell? Can you tell that I'm happier than I was last week? 'Cause life is pretty cool if you let it be cool. I lost the ability to speak just now 'cause I'm so happy. Dude, the piano, I needed it. I needed the MIDI in front of me. This is going to be sick. I also have the guitar ready. But that seems dangerous in this swivelly position. Dude, come on. I'm just happy. This is great. Haven't you ever just been happy and wanted to tell people about it? I'm sure that's annoying. If you're not currently happy, you're like, shut the fuck up, man. But I'm living proof that you can be in the absolute dregs and darkest parts of your mind and pull yourself out and be happy. I'm actually tearing up, not because I'm actually going to cry, but like I'm laughing because I was at the fucking lowest point you can be mentally. And I am back, baby. We're back. Baby, we done it. Super, super excited about what's to come. The one thing is, it sucks is like I can't talk about a lot of it. At least, I guess I just have to talk with people and see what I can and can't say. But, like, there's some surprises coming, which is fun. Speaking of sick shit, if you know my life at all, fucking another thing I can't talk about, actually. Isn't this driving you crazy now if you're listening? Like, I was going to say something cool, and now you're like, oh, just fucking say it, dude. No, I reconnected, not reconnected, but like Scary's coming to town and I couldn't be fucking more excited and happy. I haven't seen him in a long time, and like we're going to be doing some creative stuff together again, which is like my soul needed. Me and him, man, we're cut from the same cloth, like in every way. You know, we don't get me wrong, we see certain things very differently, but not many of them. And just it'll be so nice to get back in some sort of creative platform with him. And spoiler alert, he's coming on the podcast when he's here, so that'll be fucking sick. I'm gonna try to see maybe if we can work it out so we can have him and my homie shout out Casey, number one, coolest, and Casey on at the same time. That would be pretty sick. Just an absolute bacchanal of us fucking laughing and talking shit. This is why I wanted it to not be Mental Health Mondays, because I wanted to have some of that under umbrella shit in here and just fucking talk about whatever, and like really maybe inappropriately speak about things because it's funny. Okay, I just want to enjoy life. Did you see how happy I was a second ago? I want to keep being that happy. Okay, and one of those things that makes me happy is being funny. Or like I think I'm funny. I'm not that great, but like, you know what I mean? Fucking around, joking around, okay? Swearing too much and not getting more than 3 views because YouTube's like, don't. I think I unlocked something too content-wise, which is sick. See, I'm working through all these things in real time. What I want to talk about, how I want to talk about things. I want it to be a window into me as an artist, you know, as I build my brand and hopefully fan base. Like, I want there to be a reach outable tangible, accessible part of me, like this podcast. I also want to be some sort of resource to other people who are achieving things, seeing what's working for me, what's not working for me. And then obviously the mental health aspect of being open, transparent, ending the stigma, telling people to say what's on their mind. But I think I've unlocked slightly a schedule around content stuff that will work for me and be more consistent, which is sick because I stink at it. And it's something I've been trying to improve. And like, I'll go through good spurts and then shitty spurts. I mean, for example, I'm doing this podcast a week late just because I was working on some other things that were more important at the moment. But we got Mondays, a mental health clip from the podcast as an ode to Mental Health Mondays. Tuesdays, I think we're going to do those, hey, I made this beat today thing that I've been doing, if you've seen. People seem to like it. It's kind of cool. It shows a little bit of how the songwriting process goes, although this week's is going to be like basically a completely finished song. Wednesday, another podcast clip. Hump Day, something funnier maybe. Thursday, this is the new one, Throwaway Thursdays. Okay? So via a suggestion, someone said, you got to keep your skills sharp, rapping-wise, and also more content, and display your skills, all of them, as much as possible. And like, it's not easy to like, I'm a hoarder, so like if I write a really sick verse, I want to use it for a song, but also a lot of the music I've been making recently hasn't called for that, and I have literally dozens of songs on my computer where I'm at the very least on them is at least a dope verse that no one will ever hear if that song doesn't get finished anyway. So I'm just going to spit that verse every Thursday. It's like a throwaway verse for those in the hip hop community that know what I'm talking about. So Throwaway Thursdays, this first one will come out this week, and I like it. I think it's kind of cool. And Friday, probably another podcast clip. We'll see. Maybe another music thing. I want to do some sort of creative cover thing, like doing covers. It's just about the economy of time with me. Like, these things, I guess as I work through it, I'll be able to be a little bit quicker with making content, but like, it takes time. That's one thing. So going back to the hater shit, I completely stopped hating on all those YouTube kids and all the tech. I mean, I don't like most of it, but like, I don't hate on them being successful because, with the exception of going viral for like doing something really fucked up and there being no like production or skill involved in it, it's not easy to constantly be pumping out content and editing it and shooting it and all that stuff, especially for like this, where it's like I have to write something new. Like other than performing my own songs, which is something I need to do, like coming up with something new just to post it doesn't seem worth my time when I want to just be working on actual new music. So I got to work out the kinks with doing stuff where I'm playing all the instruments and shit again. But we'll get there. Right now, I like that basis of content. Get at least 2 to 3 music things a week. Get a couple clips from the podcast. And we're golden. We're fucking in here, dude. Oh, God, I hope you feel it through the screen. How fucking pumped up I am. Things are going great. Oh man. All right, another time for another song break. Let's see if we can come up with something else cool. That really hurt me. Because you got to realize, like, I heard that's not that word. Note doesn't work with this. So what I meant was, even if we couldn't set the world on fire, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to, but it always works out. By the way, this was a last minute decision putting this in front of me. I can't tell if people are going to hate that I keep touching it or not, but I think this might be the perfect thing for the podcast. rather than me. Ooh, every time I go, Zach, I'm talking to you, Zach. Every time in the past, I've lost my train of thought or like forgot what the fuck I'm trying to say and go, now I can just distract myself by playing the piano. So I'm still entertaining. And also, I'm sure not most people do this in their podcast. Do I dare? Let's see. Fuck it. It's just us here, right? I probably look really weird the way I'm sitting. Yeah, this is a no-go unless I go like this, which is possible. Here I am, me and my toys, back again. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Please stop that guitar. Thank you. Appreciate it. Also known as Chubbs Peterson. Also known as Apollo Creed. This is a. There's few people who have played such cool characters. Like Chubbs Peterson's the man. It's obviously he's like silly. It's Happy Gilmore's the silliest movie ever, other than Billy Madison. You notice the connecting theme there. But like to play Chubbs Peterson and Apollo Creed, the fucking like epitome of like the braggadocious cool hero athlete that's kind of an asshole too. Like he was the bad guy and then he turns into a good guy and then you hate when he dies in Rocky IV. Like that's not many actors get that. My biggest me and my brother always talk about this. Harrison Ford got to be Han Solo and let me redo that. Harrison Ford got to be Han Solo and Indiana Jones in one lifetime. That's impossible. You can't be cooler than that. Han Solo is literally like the Bugs Bunny of fucking movies in the sense that like everything he does is smooth and cool and always works out. Bugs Bunny's a smooth operator, okay? Don't get it twisted. And then Indiana Jones, like the same thing except fucking smart and like a archaeologist, scientist, like explorer. What's cooler? You can't play two cooler roles in one lifetime. But Chubbs Peterson and Apollo Creed. By the way, what range? Playing a professional golfer whose hand gets eaten by an alligator, and playing like Muhammad Ali type character. I'm trying to think. Or I don't know. Yeah, I guess Ali would be. It's not obviously not directly based on him, but the braggadociousness of Apollo Creed's character. By the way, the fight scenes can be slightly hokey, like the actual boxing scenes. But if you go back and watch the first few Rockies, they hold up. They're incredible. Actually, that's what I'm doing when I finally have some free time tonight. I'm throwing on Rocky 1, 2. Maybe 3 is Clubber Lang. I always get it confused because to me, 4, like my dad loved Ivan Drago. So 4 was always bigger in our house than 3 was. So I always forget that Rocky 4, like that Drago is after Clubber Lang. Am I correct? Now I'm tripping out. Rocky 1 is Apollo Creed. Rocky 2 is Apollo Creed. Rocky 3, Clubber Lang. Rocky 4, Ivan Drago. Rocky 5, Tommy Gunn. Then Rocky Balboa. Now I'm confused. I have to. This is the thing. This is all right. This is one more kink I have to work out. Not like a sexual kink, is to figure out how I could like better position this. So so you can see what I'm doing, and also so I don't have to lean all the way out of frame to like actually it's not out of frame. You can see my hand over here, can't you? Yeah, exactly. Rocky 3. Let's just go Rocky 3. 1982. What a year. Yeah, it was Clubber Lang, played by the great Mr. T. It's funny that his role in that movie sounds more like a real name than the actual name he goes by. What's Mr. T's real name? Mr. T, real name. Lawrence Turreau. Or Turod. One or the other. Huh. Mr. T. It would be funny if his last name was like Lawrence Ero, and then his name was Mr. E. Like a mystery. Folks, I'm running out of things to say. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I don't know about you, but I feel like this is one of the best episodes ever, which is a reflection on how great. This is what's gonna happen. You see how I adjusted my shirt? It's gonna be the best episode ever. Like in my head right now, I think I've covered a lot of various topics, filled you in on my life, talked about the Super Bowl, talked about fucking this and that, and Rocky IV and Apollo Creed and all this shit. And then I'm gonna look and be like, oh, my gut was hanging out, or like my shirt was folded weird and hate it. But we'll see. Guys, this is a low production situation. I'm just doing my best. On my own. On my own. On my own. On my own. That was sick. I like this. What a like. All right, I'm kind of waffling now. I was like, this is one of the best podcast episodes I've ever done, and now I realize that it's a lot of just me being like, everything's great. I love this. I'm the best. Whatever. Yeah, something I noticed being in the studio all month is that I need to upgrade some things. Um, I have more than enough. I waffle between this. I wonder what you think about this. Excuse me, it's fucking terrible what I just did to you. I wonder sometimes if we as creative people use it as an excuse, like wanting a new toy or wanting a thing. It does always bring me new inspiration to get a new software instrument or like a new plugin or something, or a new actual instrument. But it also, like Rick Rubin always said, like that hampers you 0% from being creative. Like I could just do it with one thing that I have. I could make something good. But the more toys you get, the more programs you have, the more like you learn how to use these things correctly. Definitely the more like it just adds production value and like makes your shit more polished and sound better. And sometimes that's not necessary, and sometimes it's very necessary. And I've realized this month how necessary it was, because all my shit is sounding Krispy Kreme now versus before. Well, I mean, not Krispy Kreme. It's actually, I really got to improve my mixing ability, but the production of it is sounding 100 times better than it was just a month ago. It's crazy what a month can do. After years and years of trying to own my craft, hone. I said hone, but the H was a little silent, and I don't want you to think that I think the saying is own my craft. After years of honing my craft, I have gotten better in the last month than I have in the last 10 years, which is crazy. At least at production. I've always been the sickest fucking rapper. It's weird. Now I feel so good about myself that I'm starting to be a little bit more honest, because I do actually feel that way, but usually I'm like, I want to stay humble because that's what's important, and like I want to keep things in perspective. I don't know why I did like a half LA accent, like Inglewood accent, and half like whatever the fuck that was. But dude, I'm just, man, and then because, and if not, then how would, let's just play one more thing. See, I didn't fuck that one up, and that sounds nice, doesn't it? Dry your eyes, these tears, they haunt me. No use running from the rain. I think it would be, let me guess, the next note I'm trying to play is dun, but lower. See, I was wrong. It's and then you'd go back to what it was, which I already don't remember. Yeah. Dry your eyes, your tears, they haunt me. No use running from the rain. What was this last part again? Got it. This is sick because now not only it's like comedians work out bits on podcasts a lot nowadays, and now I can kind of get ideas for songs like I just did because I really like that chord progression. Also, you can see just how bad I actually am at singing because there's absolutely no processing on this vocal, and that's fun too for you guys to make fun of in your own head without me ever knowing. See, this is what's annoying, Zach. Is I know you'll like this, and no one else is watching yet, and it sucks because I'm like, if people liked me, they'd like this if they just would watch. It's a lot. It's a tough ask. I've from the get go, knowing setting out and doing this podcast, it's certainly mostly a labor of love right now because I enjoy doing it, but it's also the reason why it's harder to stay consistent with this is it's not just the hour of time of like shooting the podcast, it's the 30 minutes beforehand setting up because I don't know what I'm doing filming stuff, and then it's the 2 to 3 hours editing reels and uploading and doing all that stuff that it's like it's a huge time commitment for almost zero return, except for the fact that it makes it easier for me to post stuff that I don't hate because I can't do the like listen to this fucking new song that sucks and wiggle your fucking dick around. I just can't do it. Um, no, but I look at I'm just thinking back on this and like I gotta somehow get this clip like in front of more people because it's interesting, I guess. At least I think it's slightly more interesting now that there's a musical element to this, which there should have been in the first place. I'm a musician. That's the whole fucking point. I don't want to be like a mental health influencer. I want to be me, man, and I feel more me now than I have in a dog's age, in many dog years. What would be sick is if this wasn't recording, I would literally cry. I'd actually cry. I have to get that out of my head because I'll worry about it for the next 18 minutes, whatever, however long more we're going to go. Just here talking to myself, folks. Singing to myself, playing to myself, not playing with myself. That would get me kicked off this platform. I wonder if that bums you out as much as it bums me out. Like I'm starting to play something cool, and you can hear where it's supposed to go next too, and then I fuck it up because I'm a hack. So I got to build out some sort of. Another thing maybe this will get me better at is actually looping stuff live, like how I basically do at my live shows, but like I'm not really looping it because I don't have the technology nor the know-how of how people who do that actually do it. Like the Fred again, like is a fucking master of doing that. FKJ, all these dudes know what they're fucking doing. Tash Sultana, that girl that blew up off of it. I think Ed Sheeran kind of that's how he became a thing in the beginning as well. I don't get how to do it, and again, this month I've learned so much that I don't know, and it's unlocked the belief that I could learn it if I really tried. But to me, it just seems so clunky and frustrating that I'm like, I'll just do it the way I'm doing it. But what would be cool is if I could literally build a song while recording the podcast, but I don't have the capability of doing that right now. I got to look into it. I probably should start investing a little more time in this to make it good enough to be worth anyone's time, not me talking about how much it's not worth my time right now. That's the weird thing. See, if I'm complaining about how much time I'm currently investing in it because I'm not seeing great return on it. But if I just invested more time, I probably would because it would be better. Like if I fucking bought a camera and shit. The phone will do for now. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. I have this pen. This is a good pen. It's white. Well, the ink is black. But the pen itself, it's just it looks like a stormtrooper's pen. Song. See, I already forgot what I was playing. No, 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 no. It was no, no. It was sadder than that. Ooh, it wasn't this, but I like this. This sounds like oh, it sounds like Elysium, one of our old songs. Okay, okay, I got it. Ready, ready. I'm gonna try it. Okay. If you were my greatest weakness, I'm gonna fuck it up. How do you make me feel so strong? Yeah. When our eyes lock, I hope you see this. Yeah. And if you do, how could it be so wrong? They say two wrongs don't make a right, but a few lefts do. Sorry that I left you on such short notice. I hope it helped your focus. What's the rest of it? Hope it helped your focus. Fuck, dude. I don't know, but then Scary's part comes in. It's like, you're better off on the outer, says the voices. Don't you hear those? Love is power, love is poison. Both I'm scared of. I wanna see your exterior before I get deeper. Should I fall to oblivion? I'll sleep to dream you, I'll sleep to dream you. Catch me, Elysium. Yeah. Come and find me, Elysium. It ain't that far. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Elysium. Come and find me, Elysium. It ain't that far. No, it ain't that far. Dude, what? Oh my god, to botch it at the fucking last second. What am I, the Ravens? Or no, it was really more the Lions. Fucked that whole thing up last week. This is going well. I don't know if you can tell. I know I've said it many times. But like this, I'm like excited about this thing that I just unlocked. Like, oh shit, have this in front of you, be able to play it at any time. We should have done this. I should have been doing this for a while. Let's go, baby. Woo! I gotta like leave. I gotta go do something or something. I'll just waste away in this room for hours again after this is over. Not that I'm not happy. I want to. I want to continue to work on music, but like I haven't been a. That's one thing this month. I've only done music, and it shows. Like, it feels good because I'm like I'm fucking pushing myself right now. Like, get home from studio, grab midnight ish, work until 3 or 4 in the morning in my studio, wake up at fucking noon, sprint to the other studio, do it all over again, which has been fun. But I gotta readjust somewhat. Like, I haven't been to the gym basically all month, and it sucks because like I feel it. Luckily I haven't gained all the 50 pounds back, but like definitely had to have gained at least 5 pounds, 510 maybe. I don't know. I'm scared to get on the scale. It doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. I can visually see like I'm not maybe as tight as I was before the holidays, which listen, it is what it is. But and I'm not one of those guys that's like the gym after New Year's, because that's me every year. That's been me every year until this past year where it actually lasted all year. But it's not fake. People say that for a reason. That shit sucks, dude. I went and I could not believe it. You have to like I prefer to get it done first thing in the morning, but the thing is, like, it's busy as fuck because a lot of people are trying to do it before work, and I prefer getting a workout done early, feeling like, oh, now that's gone, I can get about my day, rather than knowing I have to go and being tired when I go. I'd rather be tired, like, the wake up tired, not the I need to go to sleep tired. And it's less busy at the time where 90% of people are at work, and the only people who are there, it's like, what do you do for work? And then I realize I'm also there then, so maybe they just also have some sense of freedom and can go when they want. But if I had my druthers, it would be early in the morning. It's been fucking crazy every time I've gone early lately, which hasn't been very often. So maybe by the now it's like I did the reverse, like New Year's resolution, where I waited till those people gave up, which I don't mean it in a shitty way, but obviously it's hard to stay consistent. So some of them fall off and the gym becomes less busy, and then I'll go back. It's more just that my routine got a little wonky this past month, but I do need to get back in there. I don't even remember why I said that. Oh, because I'm going to work on music after this. But I'm like, word, I fucking pushed myself. I worked my ass off this month, but I do want to go do something. I just don't know what. Even a hike. See, I'm filming this on a Saturday. Maybe I'll now this is what the podcast is, me just fucking working out my schedule. What am I talking about? Fuck, this whole thing stunk. Today I'm gonna work on music, and then tomorrow is Sunday. No one watches the Pro Bowl because it's an absolute clown show. So tomorrow I'll do something nice. I'll take a refresh. Maybe I'll go take a hike or go to the beach and put my feet in the ocean. Feet in the ocean. Feet in the ocean. Feet in the ocean. All right, I'm gonna end. I think this is. Remember, I got this, you got this. If not, we both got this. We got each other's back. I think I'm gonna try to come up with a song at the end of every episode, summing up what we talked about. This is the first attempt. I've never thought of doing this before. There's a chance I feel so embarrassed by what is about to happen that the podcast just cuts off here. And if that's the case, thanks for listening. I'll see you next week. But we're gonna try anyway. I'm sorry that I keep starting on the same 3 chords. I'm gonna go like Alicia Keys, you know. Okay. Last month was great. I hope this month is too. Taylor Swift is gonna be at the Super Bowl with you, 'cause the Chiefs beat the Ravens, the Niners beat the Lions. It almost looked like in the second half Detroit wasn't even trying. Other than that, my life is pretty cool right now. I keep achieving things somehow that I wanted for years. Yeah, things are pretty cool right now, but only 'cause I know how to hide my tears. Come on now, that's not bad. First try. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Am I Crazy? We may never know. Peace out. See you next week.